Hey guys, before we actually dive into this video, apologies in advance for the heater. It is very cold in here. It is currently January 19th, 2021, and it has been a long time since I have filmed a video for this series, but today we're going to film another one for it. If you are new here, then hi, welcome. I suffer from chronic pain. I have for over 2 years at this point. We don't know 100% what causes it. There's a chance that it is related to my thyroid disease, but at this point I have been treating that with levothyroxine for I think over a year, and the fact that the pain hasn't dissipated at all insinuates that it's not only related to that. I have been ruled out for rheumatoid arthritis, I think gout, lupus, and I think like a handful of other things. I remember when I went to the rheumatologist, they drew like 7 or 8 vials of blood. So I was ruled out for a lot of stuff there too. There are still options for what could be wrong. I could have fibromyalgia, any number of pain conditions. One of them is literally just chronic pain disorder. A lot of options, and the thing about invisible illnesses is that generally you either don't get diagnosed or it takes like 6 years of appointments and specialists to diagnose it, which sucks. But I do my best to soldier on, and I do my best to manage my pain as well as I can, and part of that is what today's video is about. Again, I have very cold hands. That is a symptom of my thyroid disease, and because of that, it helps elevate the pain that I suffer in my knuckle joints and my wrists, but primarily my knuckle joints. On occasion, they are so stiff that I can't bend them. This is about as far as I can go before it hurts because they're cold right now. But when they're warm, I can go all the way down without it hurting. But because of that, I use a homemade microwaveable sock pretty often to warm up my hands. This is just a sock filled with lentils, and I microwave it for like 2 minutes, and then I normally wrap my hand in it like this, and that does a pretty good job. I do like it. I use it quite often, but at this point the lentils are starting to break inside, maybe. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but either way, little flakes of something are coming out of it every now and then, which I think is because I warm it up so much and I use it so often. It's not like burnt or anything. There's no odor of burning when I'm microwaving it, but I just think they're deteriorating inside because of how often I warm it up, which is understandable. So, today I have a new product that I'm going to try out for a microwavable thing. This is from Warmies.com. As long as these are nice, they will be linked in the description down below. They have mixed reviews, as do most things. Some of them are talking about how amazing they are, and then other people complain that the stuffing isn't right on the stuffed animals that the warm-up thing is in, and so on and so forth, but might as well give it a shot, right? I got an ad for these on Instagram back last week on Wednesday, so it took just under a week to get here for me. And the one that I got in the ad was the otter, which is like a little otter stuffed animal that you microwave, and it was so cute, and I almost got it because one of my kittens' names is Otter, which is I'm 100% sure that is why that one was chosen for me. But I ended up getting one that supposedly you can stick your hands inside of to warm up, and then I got one that wraps around my neck because I also use that for my neck all the time, because I have a lot of neck pain and neck stiffness. So for hot therapy, these seem really good. Supposedly you can also use them for cold therapy by putting them in the freezer, but I don't use cold therapy very often because it tends to make my pain worse rather than better because my joints are already cold and stiff. So let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so I can see the one here is wrapped in a little thingy. He's so cute. I got a little bunny for my neck. Scented with relaxing lavender. Yeah, it actually says right here, freeze for 3 hours for cold therapy. I will move that closer so you can see that. But again, I don't really use cold therapy because it has no benefit for me, generally. Sometimes it does. It has a nice thing here that tells you different times for different wattages of microwaves, which is nice because most things actually don't. Most of them just give you a singular number and just make you deal with it, and it's trial and error. But he's very soft, which is nice. And this is the neck wrap one again. So here in a few, we're gonna microwave this monster and see what happens. But now I'm gonna get out the one I'm really excited for, which is my supersized bear Warmy. I feel so bad for him. So this one, unlike the smaller stuffed animals like the bunny, you can't just stick him in the microwave and warm him up because he's 19 inches or something like that. But it has a removable pouch that you put in the microwave instead. Roxy's just... Do you want to see? So brave. Okay, so it does have the slots for your hands. It goes all the way through. Hi, Roxy. So, first of all, even just here, this is nice and warm, and I am 100% just going to hold this in my lap while I'm working all the time. Just a full disclosure right there. Even if the Warmy thing sucks, this is very nice. The heat pack is on this side, it feels like. Yep, here's the Velcro. So if you were to hold it on your lap with the back to you, you would also get heat on your stomach, which for me is excellent. So this is the little removable Warmies thing. It's the little square-ish thingy that goes in there. All of the seams on this are closed, which is a plus. That's an issue that comes up a lot with stuff like this. Again, this has a little wattage rating thing. I'll hold that closer to you for... You can sort of see it. It's going to be hard to focus on it. There you go. So far, I'm impressed. This one also tells you not to heat this guy, just to heat the pack that comes inside. But he is also very soft. Everything looks good on it. All of the seams are stitched closed. I don't see any like loose threads or loose stuffing. There are some loose threads on this, but that's like literally no big deal. That's just something that people often complain about. But there's like one right here. But if that really bothers you, cut it off. It's just an excess thread. So, you know. But so far I'm very happy with this. I can already smell the lavender. Both of them are lavender scented. I think all of them are. So if you don't like lavender at all, that's an issue. But I enjoy lavender. I use it partially for pain, and then I also use it for anxiety. So I enjoy lavender. The bunny is $19.99 and the bear is $34.99. Just so that way you're aware of it in case you are intrigued or interested by them. So I'm going to go warm up this first. the bear, and the bunny second. But I'll do them both and then I'll come back in here. So I will see you guys in a moment with hopefully some nice warm therapy. So this one was warmed up for 30 seconds according to the directions, and it was warm out of the microwave, but at the moment it's actually borderline cold. It's still warm on my face, but my hands can't really feel it. But I'm still going to obey the directions on day one anyway. And I'm just going to put it back in here in the little pouch, which if you haven't used one of these kind of things before, it's just a pouch that's separated from the stuffing and whatnot that it fits inside of. The bunny, on the other hand, was warmed up for 60 seconds according to the directions, and is pretty nice and warm on my shoulder. It's not like boiling hot. I normally warm up things a little bit warmer than they need to be because my hands suck. So when they're on my hands, I can't feel much heat most of the time. I have a hand warmer and it gets nice and hot, and I normally can't really like feel the heat, but it does warm my hands. I hate it. It's an odd combination. This one warmed up very nicely. It's still warm to the touch, which is nice. And I can feel it on my neck. It has a nice weight to it. One of the issues that I have with this when I wear it on my neck is that sometimes when I'm up and walking around, it feels a little bit like it's choking me because it is a little heavy. I obviously don't know how much it weighs, but it's got a few pounds to it, if nothing else. More than the bunny does, which is nice for my hands, and I often put it behind my back and lean back against it so I get like pressure on my lower back, and it's nice for that too. But the main issue I have with it is on my neck, and the flax or the lentil dust leaking out on me. But I don't really mind that too much. It just, you know, requires me to dust it off my hands on occasion. And that's no big deal because I like to make do with what I have. So the bunny is nice and warm. It sits nicely around my neck and on my shoulders, and I don't feel like I'm being choked or like I have to like lean forward to compensate for the weight or anything. The bear, it's very nice to just sit here with him with my hands in the pouch here, but I will say that my hands cannot feel any warmth. My stomach can't feel any warmth either, so at this point the little thing has lost like all of its heat. So I will say that that's a negative on the instructions, but generally it is. In my experience, very rarely do the instructions included with microwaveable hot therapy in any form, very rarely do the instructions generally give you a good idea of how long you should warm it up for how hot you need it for it to actually work, because for them, if you follow the directions, there's no chance of burning it. But if you go an extra 30 seconds or an extra 45 seconds, there is a chance that you could burn it. But usually, because you didn't follow the instructions, most companies won't accept a return. And that's, in my experience, why most companies set the intervals so low, usually. I can't say that Warmies is for that reason, because I don't know them, but that is generally a good rule of thumb for most warm-up companies, and that's not like a negative for them. People have a habit of overwarming things. People have a habit of purposely disregarding the instructions and burning shit and then complaining that it burned and leaving 1-star reviews and acting like it's the company's fault instead of their fault for putting it in a microwave for 5 minutes and then walking away from it. So I don't blame the companies that do that in any form. I think it's a good idea to, you know, distance yourself from idiots. but it's just something to be aware of. So if you get the bear, you'll most likely want to warm the thing up for longer, or stick it in the bear much faster. It was warm the entire minute I was standing in front of the microwave, but if it only lasts for a minute, it's not a very long amount of warmth. But I will say that my hands are still warm inside the little pouches here, even though I can't feel any warmth from the thing, just because it's a stuffed animal and it's a pouch that's closed in and no cold air is hitting my hands. They are warm. My right hand is still super stiff, but this one I can go pretty much down all the way, and it doesn't hurt very much, which is nice. This one starts to hurt still around here-ish for most of the fingers, especially these two. These ones are very stiff today. So for me, they get a stellar review here. All of the very few complaints that I have can be fixed by just a little longer microwaving, which when you add time to one of these, whether it's a homemade one or whether it's a store-bought one, you want to stand by the microwave and watch it. Sometimes you can put a cup of water in the microwave and that will help not burn it as easily. It's a tip there in case you don't use these all the time. But the few complaints that I have can just be easily fixed. With the bear, warm the thing up a little bit longer. It's no huge deal. Stand by the microwave, watch it, don't be dumb, don't add 400 seconds to it and then walk away. Do it in like 15-second intervals. Touch the thing, how hot is it? If it starts smelling, stop, so on and so forth. But I'm very happy with both of these and I'm not planning on complaining any. I'm going to go back to Warmies and leave them solid reviews for both of them because I'm very happy with them already, even though I don't plan on following the directions for the bear. But that's okay. And with the bear, the good news is if you burn that package thing, if you do happen to just completely fuck it up, you can make your own with lentils or flaxseed or clay beads. There's a number of things you can use. Rice. These are flaxseed. Mine is lentils. Either or works. So with the bear, if you screw it up, you can make a new one for it, and that's no huge deal. You have a template, you have the size of that pouch, so you can always make a new one if you need to. And I'm sure people on Etsy already sell square ones that are about that same size too. So if you don't know how to sew, or if you don't want to do it, which I completely understand, you could most likely just buy an extra one on Etsy. And if you buy extra ones or make extra ones, then you can warm it up like as often as you want. Otherwise, you don't want to warm them up until they've cooled down to room temperature, which normally takes at least like 2 to 3 hours for most things. For mine, it takes like well over 4 hours. So I normally warm it up more than I should, which is why it leaks lentil dust. But I'm very happy with these. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the link to the website down below, and I'll leave the link to the bear and the bunny in case you guys are interested in either of them. I'm obviously not sponsored by Warmies. I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. I just saw an ad on Instagram at the same day that I was in desperate need of a nice hand warmer, and here we are. And I just wanted to record it for you guys so that way we could have a little product review, I guess, in the chronic pain series, because it is something that I deal with every single day of my life and most likely will for the rest of my life. And sometimes it's nice to just be able to sit down and film a video about it. But that is all that I have for this one. If you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated. And if you'd like to stay updated on my writing, my editing, the animal videos I upload roughly every Wednesday, the gaming videos I upload roughly every Friday, or anything that I do on this channel in between, feel free to subscribe. All the links to my authors pages as well as links to my social media are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.